tragedies into your own triumphant life story? If so, this podcast is for you. Listen to powerful guests who have persevered through challenges so you can gain strength to build your championship life. The host of Professor of Perseverance podcast, Dr. James Purdue.
Hey, it's that time again for us to share, for us to get some inspiration, for us to get that little piece of nugget that can get us through today. Because we know that life's coming around, and what it's going to do, it's going to kick us in the teeth. And what are we going to do? Get some dentures if we need it, but we're still going to live life like we should. Or today they can implant that tooth back in there, right? And still live the best life that we can. All right, today we're going to talk about brittle bone disease. All right, our guest was born with brittle bone here. And so let's go ahead and get started. Let's don't hold off anymore. Katherine Klimitas, let me push this button to get you on here. There, Katherine, come on in here.
Hi.
So thank you for coming in with your, I can tell already, with a big, beautiful smile. I mean, how can we have a bad day when we got a smile like yours?
I don't know. I try not to have a lot of bad days.
There you go. That's what we do. That's right. Bad days are coming whether we want it or not. And
That's
just how we deal with them. I don't agree with, and I'm not going to take a lot of your time up here, but I don't agree with when people say, "Oh, you make the decision, have a good day." There's nobody that can do anything to, you make it. Wait a minute. If somebody comes up and cut my pinky toe off, I'm going to have a bad day.
That would be a bad day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say something I shouldn't say. I'm going to get mad. I'm going to throw mother shoe at them. Okay. So, I mean, but here's the thing is you can't sit and dwell on it all your life. You got to finally get past it. Yeah, but don't give me that. So when they say, yeah, if someone comes up and says something bad to you, you ignore them and move on. Okay, yeah, I can deal with that. But if they slap me in the face, I'm not just going to smile and say, have a great day. So I got something to say. But again, get over it. And then I hope the best for whoever they did that to me. Hope the best for them. But yeah, I'm sure that I know me. I will break my positive influence for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then I'll move on.
I think that's most people.
I would think so. Hey, Brittany, again, no, Brittany, Katherine. I don't know where I got Brittany from. Katherine, thank you for coming in again. And yeah, let's get this going on here. So, brittle bone.
Yes.
All right, you jump in and tell your story where you think we need to be, and then I'll ask some questions.
Sure. So I live right outside of New Orleans, Louisiana. As you said, I was born with a genetic bone disease called osteogenesis imperfecta, and the simple term for that is brittle bone disease.
I was going to say that other word, but that's easy for you to say. I know,
it's a lot. It's a mouthful.
It's easy for you to say. That's right.
Yeah. It break easily and grow up. So people ask me how many bones I've actually broken. We actually stopped counting around 500 when I was 10.
Wow.
So a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I grew up with two parents who were veterinarians. So I've grown up with animals, of course, my entire life. But for me, they had experience in the medical field. So that made life a little easier for me as far as dealing with my medical issue. Yeah, so I deal with a lot of physical pain. I try hard not to take a lot of narcotics. I just don't like the way they make me feel. I just,
yes.
They make you feel, well, at least they make me feel very out of control. And I'm a pretty controlling person. So I do not like that at all. My mom is actually a homeopathic veterinarian. So she does a lot of holistic medicine. And I use a lot of natural medicine also to manage pain.
Now, for people that are coming in, that's for you and your doctor to discuss on your medicine. It has nothing to do with Katherine and me. We're not trying to push you any way or the other. She's just talking about her experience. You do what's best for you and your doctor. But I do tell people, don't be afraid to second guess or second opinion your doctor, though. Okay, and
Definitely,
then see if other one agrees with going on. So, but
definitely.
again, while talking about medicine, what to take, not to take, that's her experience, my experience.
Yeah,
You seek your professional experience, your professional with your doctor,
right,
and
right.
physician. Yes. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. This is just what works for me. I mean,
Yes.
I tried a kind of all of it, and this is just what I have found over the
Yes.
33
Yes.
years I've been alive. That works for
Okay.
me. But I know lots of people with my same condition who go different routes. So, you just have to figure out what works for you and do
Mm-hmm.
that.
That's right.
Yeah, so I was the only kid in my school in a wheelchair or with any kind of physical disability until I was a senior in high school. So,
All right.
I it was interesting growing up. I
I would say
was,
in high school and during your education years, that could be good and bad, right?
yeah,
You being the
yeah,
only, good because you can meet new friends that more concerning with you that, look for you to be you. And then, of
right.
course, you got those bullies everywhere.
Yeah, and that I think the people ask me if I got bullied more than other
Uh-huh.
people, more than able-bodied people, and I really don't think so. I mean,
Okay. Yeah, but that's good.
yeah, I mean, I really feel like the bullying I got was just normal adolescent teenage girl drama, you
Okay.
know,
Okay. Yeah.
and that's just you're gonna find that everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, And so anyway, I graduated from high school and then I went to Loyola University in New Orleans and graduated with a BA in graphic design in 2011. And
There you go.
yeah, and I opened my own art and design business, CAC Art and Designs, right out of college.
All
But
right.
I had actually been painting for a long time. When I was 5, my mom bought me my first watercolor set,
I would
and
say I read that your mother got the first set for you.
yeah, because I was bored and I was smart and I was driving my parents crazy, and
Haha, there you go.
they were constantly trying to find things for me to do. And they gave me this watercolor set and I took to it like immediately. And
Like a duck in water.
oh yeah, like I used up all the paint in a couple of days and all the computer paper in the house and my parents realized that not only did I love it, I was actually pretty good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got
Awesome.
into other classes, obviously in school, but then also outside of school and summer classes, art camps, things like that. And so I got to do a lot of different kinds of art by the time I was a teenager. And I started painting. I used to have to go to work with my parents on Saturdays when I didn't have, a babysitter or whatever after school. I would go to work with my parents on sometimes after school and then always on Saturdays. And I would paint the clients' pets as while they were sitting and waiting for my
Yeah.
parents. And eventually they started giving me money to do that. Like the clients would give me 20 bucks or 40 bucks or
Yeah.
whatever to paint their dog or their cat. And as a young teenager and a, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, realized, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, I'm making money and I'm,
That's right.
you know, um, so at that point, kind of started looking at art more as a career than as a hobby. And
Yeah.
so yeah, so I still do a lot of pet portraits today. They look very different from the ones I did when I was 10, which is good. Um,
Which is good.
yeah, yeah, they've definitely gotten better. Um, and yeah, so I also specialize in painting animals. So I can paint other things, but um, I grew up with animals. They're my favorite subject matter. They're what I connect with the best, and so that's what I tend to paint, whether it's
Okay.
pets or wild animals.
I got
Um,
you.
yeah, so yeah, that's basically
Animals and Mother Nature, boy, that's the way to go.
Absolutely.
Animals bring so much encouragement to you. You know, they
They
don't
do.
care as long as you feed them, take care of them. They give you that unconditional love, and so they're
Exactly.
just a blessing that was sent to us to take care of.
Definitely. I mean, I have 5 dogs, so I mean, it kind of comes with the territory of living with a veterinarian. Um,
Hmm.
but yes, I have 5 dogs, and I mean, they drive me crazy sometimes, and you may hear them at some point in this next 30 minutes. But um,
That's okay. We love to
they're
hear them.
wonderful.
So
Yeah, I mean, I love them.
that driving crazy, that's a short drive for me sometimes.
It is. It is often a
I
short drive.
hear
Often a
you. Now let's get back to this your brittle bone disease. And when mom and dad, how old were you when they realized that you had this condition?
They found out 2 weeks before I was born.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
So,
okay, from
yeah.
the okay,
Yeah, in utero.
okay.
So they could see on the ultrasound that I had several broken bones. Um, so
Already
yeah,
that's in development.
yeah. I think I was born with 11 broken bones. So
Wow, okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Now here's a big question here for me anyway, but so knowing you're gonna be born with this condition and everything, did they put you in a big old bubble wrap
Huh.
to protect you?
Um,
Were they overprotective as parents? Did they
no,
try to
my
let
parents
you
were not.
until something happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing with me was like it takes it. Well, when I was younger, at least, when you have brittle bone disease and you hit puberty and you get those hormones,
Hmm.
your bones get a little bit stronger. So the rate
Okay.
of breakage is less. But until then, I mean, it took nothing to break me. I could just get my toe stuck somewhere and break my leg. I could sneeze and break multiple
I was going to say I've
collarbones.
heard some other
Yeah,
people that they said they sneezed too hard, and all of a sudden they
yeah,
broke a rib.
yeah, or a collarbone. I've done that before too. Um,
Hmm.
so the thing was like it was going to happen no matter what I did, and so my parents basically said, well, I mean, obviously you need to think about what kind of activities you're doing, and do them within reason. But, if you're feeling good enough and you want to try to do something, then we don't see a problem with you going out and doing it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they
yeah.
encourage me that, which I think is really good. I think a lot of parents tend to go the opposite direction with
Too
kids
much
with
the
brittle
opposite
bones.
direction.
Yeah, and it's so hard because they're still kids. They still need to have that social interaction and grow up and one this is just a quick example, but one person that I see on some of the message boards, their parents were very overprotective. And,
Hmm.
this kid is now an adult or yeah, a very young adult, but an adult, but has
Hmm.
not wanted to do anything with their life. They don't aspire to college. They don't aspire to finding work. They don't do anything, and that's unfortunate because they can. They just don't,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So no, my parents were not like that, and I'm very glad they weren't. I mean, I'd almost say that every once in a while they were a little bit more in the opposite direction than I would like, or what I would have liked at certain times.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they always pushed me to do my best. And actually, honestly, my mom always made me want to do as much as I could. I mean, there were days where I had multiple broken bones and I still wanted to go to school, and she said
Hmm.
no,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And I remember being so mad at her because I loved school, And so, there were definitely moments like that.
Mom still had to be mom when she needed
That's
to with
right.
that.
That's
So
right. But,
the tough love on you at that
yeah,
time. Hey,
I
it
was
was
not
for
one
your
of
health.
those
She's looking
kids.
after your health.
Yeah, I was not one of those kids that wanted to get out of going to school
Yeah.
very often, you
Now let
know?
me ask this. I know this is a stupid question, but I don't know the answer. So you said going through puberty with the whole new hormones and stuff makes the bones somewhat stronger.
Mhm.
I know it's not 100%, but better than it was.
Mhm.
Is there not anything, the injection or something doctors, scientists, research that
Yeah,
could give you early on to help make them a little stronger as you're.
yeah. So there
I mean, I
is
know there's good and bad to go with it that early.
that's true. So there is an infusion. Well, there's a couple of them, but they're biophosphonate infusions. Basically, they're kind of like that pill Boniva that
Hmm.
uh, people with osteoporosis take. They kind of do the same thing, but the problem, well, first of all, research has shown that they're better if they're given at a really young age. And when I was the age to take them, they were not well researched yet.
Hmm.
They were
Yeah.
still relatively new, and so I mean, I did not have them. I did not take them
Okay. Yeah.
because
Okay.
they were just still so new and they didn't know. However, there are some pretty heavy side effects from them. There can be some pretty heavy side effects from them. Um, One of the things that happens that, and not with everybody, but one of the things they're finding happens is that the drug takes, I mean, essentially what it does is it takes strength from other bones and puts it into your long bones, meaning like your
Yeah.
arms and your legs, right? The
Yeah.
problem with that is that over time, as you get older and then your hormones change again, those other bones that it's taken strength from start to have some real problems. And so, one of the most common is that it takes from your jawbone. And one of the
Uh
most
huh.
common issues is having a lot of jaw issues later in life with it. And that's just not something my parents thought they wanted to risk with me. And
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know how much of a difference it would have made in my life. I know people that have done really well on them, and I know people who have done really badly on them. So, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a
Uh,
flip of a coin on most things like
it
this.
is. It is. The problem with OI is that you don't, I don't absorb calcium. So it doesn't matter. Like if I eat a bunch of cheese, or if I eat a huge steak, or I drink a bunch of milk, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to absorb the calcium anyway. And actually, I'm lactose intolerant, so it's not a good thing for me to be drinking anyway. But um, it's there's not a lot of supplements and things that I can absorb. So something that would normally help somebody with a calcium deficiency doesn't really help me because
Hmm.
I don't have what it takes to absorb it. So yeah,
Okay. Now
yeah.
let's go here. Don't want to get too sensitive with you on this, but let's go here a little deep. That with your condition and stuff, what is your lifespan longevity? What is the
Well,
average? Is that cut still normal like everyone else? Is it
no, it's
shortened?
not normal. It's funny you ask that because that has been a question coming up on these message boards lately. Um, because when I was young, when I was born, first of all, I wasn't supposed to live very long,
Hmm.
a couple years. But then they started telling my parents 40. I'm 33. So,
There you go.
but that being said, I know several people with the same severity and the same condition I have, and they are well past 40. So, I would venture to say somewhere between 60 and 70, just judging by the
Okay.
people I know and the people, I've seen. And of course, that's barring any, major
Exactly.
crises and,
And
whatever.
yeah, and
Right.
it goes back to doing the best you can to stay healthy as you can too. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah. So
Exactly.
the better you can prepare your body nutritional
Right.
wise and everything and do everything correct, the better opportunity you get to go further.
Exactly. And I
So
do that. I try to eat well and I try to exercise some. And, I mean, not overly, but, it's not like I don't eat dessert and I don't drink alcohol and, but I
uh-huh.
don't like, overdo it either. You know,
Oh, you give me a good banana split and you've already made my night.
I know. I know.
So, all right, Catherine, let's get into this quickly. I'm not going to dive deep into it. You go as far as you feel comfortable.
Okay.
Boyfriends, Intimacy.
No, not at the moment. I work all the time,
Uh-huh.
honestly. I own my own business, and right now I've owned my own business for, since 2011, the past 11 years, and it's finally like actually becoming successful.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my focus is constantly at the
Mm-hmm.
moment. Not that I'm not open to it. It's just that um, that is what I'm focused on.
Well, and there's certain times for certain things.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm not one of those people. I'm a very independent person. I don't need a second person,
Mm-hmm.
in my life
Yeah.
constantly. So it doesn't really bother me, you know.
Okay.
If it
So
happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
there you go. Well, and it happened when it's supposed to happen.
That's right.
So, all right, good deal. All right, so now with your, how long you said you got your displays, your business? How long has it been going on now?
Since 2011. I mean, I've been painting since
Okay,
I was, like
yeah, you've
technically
been,
I sold my first painting when I was 10. But
yeah,
I mean, as a for real legal business
yeah,
since 2011.
good deal. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So,
Yeah.
all right, with your other people, how many other people have you met with similar conditions?
Several. I met several. So what's interesting about brittle bone disease is that it varies a lot in severity. So
Yeah, I can believe that. I can see
yeah,
that.
there are people with the most mild type, and they can walk. They're often a little shorter than the regular population, and they have the angular face like I have, and they have the same kind of voice and the same shaped chest. Um,
Hmm.
our the whites of our eyes are often blue, like a light
Okay.
blue.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, if you know what to look for, you can recognize it. But
Yeah.
it's almost, I mean, if you don't know what to look for, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And they usually break, 3 or 4 bones in their lifetime, maybe 10, and then
Hmm.
that's it. They may have some other
Okay.
issues related to the disease, but it's nothing like what I have. I have the most severe type that lives past like infancy. So
And you're kicking its teeth in the, wow, there you
try.
go.
I
There you go.
try.
Good. Awesome.
So the most severe type um, is basically the type where the rib cage doesn't develop, and in a lot of cases the skull doesn't develop. And if
Uh-huh.
that doesn't happen, then the organs can't develop, and then
Exactly.
obviously you can't live like that.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, those people do not. Sometimes they don't make it even to birth.
Yeah.
And if they do, it's not far past that.
Yes.
So yeah,
All
but
right.
yeah,
Here's a,
I know several. I know a few with my severity. Again, like online, this is one of the things that Facebook is great for, because I'm able to
yes.
meet all kinds of
Yes.
people, like this.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
that's really great. Yeah.
All right. Here's another stupid question. I'm assuming to know the answer, but doesn't mean I do. Uh, with all the bones that you break and going to break in the future, um, painful. Do you have normal, what they call normal sensation,
I do have
normal
normal sense.
feeling?
Yep. Yeah. Actually, I get asked that question a lot. Um, I do. So there's nothing wrong with my nerve endings. They all work just fine. Um, what I tell people is, I mean, I can't be in your body. Like, I don't know what it feels like when you break your arm,
Hmm.
but I would assume that I feel the same amount of pain. But because I've been dealing with it for so long, I think I have a higher tolerance for it,
Yeah.
and I handle it better than most people.
Block
Um,
some of the pain out. And
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I mean, obviously there's the whole mind over matter thing, and and sometimes that works and sometimes that doesn't.
Exactly.
um,
Exactly.
but I try. Um, and there are some days where I can handle what's going on without taking anything, taking any ibuprofen, taking anything. But then there
Hmm.
are some days where I'm like, okay, time for some drugs. I
That's
need
right. That's
some
right.
drugs. You know, like
What
this
do you
is
mean? What do you mean? Give me 2? I want 10.
Yeah, this is way past what I can handle.
I hear
You
you.
know,
I hear you.
yeah.
Well, you're doing
You know,
amazingly well. I'm proud of you, and anybody that come listen is going to be very proud and going to be very glad that they come across this podcast.
oh,
You're
I
an
hope so.
you're an incredible person. So
Oh,
to with the hand you're dealt with, and you're playing it out pretty good.
thank you. Well, I found that, you just have to find what works for you. We were
That's
talking
it.
about that earlier. Like for example, I paint laying on my side. And
Hmm.
most people do not do that. But that is what works for me. And I do a lot of things actually laying down because it's easier on my back and all that. But
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
yeah, a lot of people find that strange, but for me, it's normal. You know.
I can't even paint a stick dog. That's how bad I am. So my painting is, hey dude, could you paint that for me? That's my painting. So
There you go.
all
There you go.
right,
That's why we exist. That's why
that's right. So
that's
all right, Catherine, siblings.
I do not have siblings. I have dogs, and they're
Oh,
practically siblings
oh,
because
exactly. They are family.
they are treated like little humans in my house.
Yes.
Yeah, we always joke about that because everybody asks me, "Do you have siblings?" No, but I have dogs, and they are often treated as well or better than I am.
That's right. That's right.
You
Yeah,
know, um, which is, I mean, quite honestly, that's how it should be. So it's totally fine.
someone
Um,
brought this to my attention one day when I got a service dog, and we were
oh,
walking in the store, and yeah, I'm in a wheelchair. I don't know if you know, I'm in a wheelchair. Got my neck broke,
hmm
paralyzed, playing football, and so I got a Ricardo, my service dog, and we were in the store one day, and some woman, elderly woman, she came up to me and she said, I don't know if you've heard this before or not, but she said, you know that God's favorite animal are dogs. And I said, really? And I said, I'm trying to think in my head. I've never read the whole Bible, but I've never read where it says dogs is his favorite animal either. And so she says, well, what is dog spelled backwards?
yep.
And I go, I'm visualizing spelling it in my head. And I go, wait a minute. And so that's when it hit me. So she may have a good point there.
She does. She does. I actually trained one of my dogs as a service dog as well. She's a Sheltie, and she's very smart. I mean, she's not like. I mean, I'm sure you have a service dog that was trained for you, right? I mean, it went off.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. She's not that good. I mean, she's good. I love her, and she picks things up for me, and she listens really well, and I can take her
Hmm.
out in public and all that. But she also has a mind of her own, and she decides whether or not she wants to do something when she wants to.
Oh,
Now in public, she's very, very good. But like
she's
around the
a
house, if I say, pick that up for me, most of the time for me, she'll do it. But if like my mom asked her to get something, she'll look at her and go, "No, you can do that yourself. You don't need
yeah.
me to do
She's
that."
yeah. She's like my dog. He's getting that selective hearing now.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's 14 years old. He's actually retired for working now. Yeah, I got him from the very beginning. He was 2 years old when I got him. And let's go ahead and plug Canine Companions for Independence. If you
that's
need a service dog, please contact Canine Companions for Independence. We actually met him in Orlando. I live again outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and Ricardo and I met in Orlando. He was 2 years old, and he has been a blessing for me.
yeah. I
So
bet.
he's been a good one. So. All right. Yeah, he's got, I say selective hearing. I think he's gotten 14 years old and he can't hear as well now. But he still gets up and wags that
I
tail
don't know.
every morning.
Yexi does the same thing. She's about 13, almost 13. And, I can't decide. Sometimes I think she can't hear, and sometimes I'm like, you can hear me. You just don't want to listen.
Yeah. Well, I've said
But
the same thing, except he can hear me, but he ignores me. But if I open up a
yeah,
bag of potato chips, he hears that.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
there you go. All right, Catherine. I think we've got some information going here today,
Yeah.
and boy, I appreciate you being here. You are a blessing to be brought to my life. I'm glad our path has crossed. I'm glad we
Yeah,
got to meet each other. And I hope one day, maybe one day you'll start your own podcast and I can be on there with you
I
and we can
may.
talk to
I
other
do
people.
that. Yeah.
So I think that would be good to help other people in your condition, plus other people in other conditions. I would encourage anybody to start one, but I know it's not for everybody. So, but you get out and get on everybody's podcast as you can possible and get that message spread out to stay hopeful,
I'm
provide some encouragement, persevere, no matter what the situation, how painful it may be.
yeah. I'm trying. I've been on a few different podcasts over the last month, so it's been a lot of fun. They've all been totally different from each other, and it's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead and lie to
I
me.
think
Tell me mine's been the best. Go ahead and lie to me.
oh, it's been the best by far. Obviously,
There we go. That's what I like to
obviously,
hear it.
that's it. That
All right.
especially because you live outside Nashville, because that's like I said, one of my favorite cities in the
Oh,
world.
yes,
So
she's right. Your second favorite. That's right.
yeah,
So, all right, Catherine.
it is.
Hey,
I'm a
thank
big
you for again.
music fan.
There you go. Thank you for being here again. Hey,
Yeah,
go and tell your social media, any speaking opportunities people can get hold of you, your business, how they may
sure.
come look at some of your artwork, how they can get hold of you, whatnot, and tell us your stuff, how they can get hold with you.
Sure. So my website is KAK, which is my initials, KAK Art NOLA, like New Orleans, Louisiana. So cacartnola.com. And those are also my Facebook and Instagram handles. So it's cacartnola. My official business name is Cac Art and Designs. And I don't have any exhibitions right now. One actually just closed near the outside of Baton Rouge. But hopefully, I'm hoping to have one at the end of the year. I don't really know yet. But if you go to my website, you can sign up for my newsletter, follow me on social media. I'm always putting stuff up there. I do have an Etsy store that's linked to my website. So you can go there and buy some art or buy some products with my art on them. And that's always fun. And I
Good.
also wrote a book, and that is available on my Etsy store as well.
What's the name of the book?
It's called Looking Up, and it's about me.
Looking up.
It's kind of about what we talked about today, and my story and just my life in
Yeah.
general. Yeah.
Good deal. That's awesome. Just yeah, get a copy of some of her artwork where she signed it, and then get on eBay and get 10 times your money back.
Oh,
So,
I wish, man. If
well, I
that
hear
happens,
you.
let me know. I wish.
You, I hear you. No, if it happens, don't tell me because then I'll feel bad that I should be sounding more. So, you, we will go from there. All right. Hey, oh, Catherine, you have been a blessing and everything. Again, your beautiful smile and everything got me all fired up over here. So,
Oh, good.
Catherine, we know that other people are hurting and struggling. If you can leave us with a big, powerful message that help them get through today, that's going to be a blessing.
I think that the most the best you can do is just to get up and do something. What bothers me the most in the world is when somebody has the ability to give back to society or just to contribute something to society and they don't because they just don't feel like it or they're lazy, and they make up reasons why they can't and they don't. And that is very frustrating to me because I feel like if everyone lived up to their full potential, the world would be a much better place. So yeah, so get out and do something, try something, find things that interest you, and try to give back a little bit.
Help out the community and to bring a smile back to you. Don't
Exactly.
always think it's don't always think it's me, 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 me. All right. Give it away sometimes. So,
Exactly.
all right, Catherine, thank you for being here. You're a blessing. Hey, tell your mom and dad that the professor of Perseverance said, hey.
Yeah.
So, all right, then. Thank you. Hey, everybody else, be sure to share this message out. Find somebody that they need a little uplift today. And Catherine's going to be the one to do that for you. Remember, Catherine, they say this stuff on the internet's going to be there forever. So 100 years from now, someone's going to find you and you're going to hit them on the spot where they need it. So,
Awesome.
There we go. All right, everybody else, do something today, tomorrow, something next week that's going to help you persevere past your paralysis.